Hello, my name is Gerald and I want to thank you so much for showing up today. In these episodes, I will always speak directly to you and never ask anything of you except to like and subscribe. I love Bitcoin, but as we see these skyrocketing prices, we gotta remember that another crash is coming. Nothing in this video or on this channel is financial advice. Please feel free to post your Bitcoin investing story in the comments. I first bought Bitcoin at one of the worst possible times. It was right after the big boom where Bitcoin hit 20K. It started dropping like a rock. My first buy was for $100 and Bitcoin's price was around $16,000. I kept buying slowly in $100 intervals as it dropped and dropped and dropped, with my last buy being around $6,000. It was at this point I did something you should never do. I freaked out and I sold about 1/3 of my Bitcoin. Devastating now. I know it's a lot higher than that. I then stopped watching the price as it dropped into the 3,000s just because I couldn't handle it anymore. I would have sold it all if I'd kept watching. So I just tried to pretend like it didn't exist, and that's a pretty good strategy. The point I'm trying to make here is that I let fear decide whether or not I should sell. Now that Bitcoin is going up in a huge way, make sure you don't let greed encourage you to buy a ton of Bitcoin right now. You must always figure out a way to control your fear and greed when investing. If you are set on getting yourself some Bitcoin right now, then of course get some, but just remember that a drop is coming. All right, let's get down to it. So why am I convinced that a drop is coming? Well, it's pretty obvious. Obviously a drop is coming. Like, Bitcoin will not go up forever without seeing another huge drop. This is the way Bitcoin has always been. It starts flying and everybody starts buying, driving it even higher. This is a reaction based on greed, based on FOMO, fear of missing out. Everybody's seeing these epic gains. They're seeing it in the news. These people made millionaires or billionaires from their Bitcoin investments, and so they want to get in on it, and they buy because they're greedy. It then gets to a point where the big players start taking profits, which drops the price a little, and all the greedy, inexperienced investors freak out and they start selling like crazy, causing a huge drop. Don't get me wrong, it could go up a ton more, maybe even to 100K, 200K, who really knows? We have no idea where it's going. All we know is that it's going to crash eventually in a huge way. It will go back down just as fast as it's now going up. Will it go all the way back down to 3 or 4K? I don't think so. Probably not, but it'll certainly drop like a rock. Alright, so if you're going to buy, be cautious. I recently hit my first sell point where I sold 5% of my Bitcoin. I have various other sell points in mind where I'll sell an additional 5 to 10% of my Bitcoin holdings, but I'm always going to keep 50% of my Bitcoin holdings just because I absolutely love the project and I think the technology is amazing. If you hold Bitcoin, it's probably a good idea to set price points at which you will sell a percentage of your holdings, just because you don't want to miss out on those profits. You want to take some profits because we know it's going to go down eventually. Like, that's you can't argue with that. Even in the early days of Bitcoin, we saw these epic booms where it tripled or 10 times or whatever the case may be, and then you saw a period of the price dropping significantly. So do take profits. Maybe don't sell all your Bitcoin because we don't know how high it's going to go. For all we know, it could hit $1 million. Like, we have no idea. Like, this is a boundless investment pretty much. Like, what we've seen in the past shows us how fast and how fast this currency, if you want to call it a currency or investment or whatever you want to call it, can go up. It is just absolutely insane. If you haven't already, you will likely start to see Bitcoin flooding your newsfeed, especially when it hits all-time highs, which I believe will happen relatively soon. Personally, I think that the 20K point will be the moonshot point, where we begin seeing 20% increases or more in a single day. Could I be completely wrong? Of course. Could it start dropping today, tomorrow, the next day? Of course. Will it? I personally don't think so. I just think it's gonna just go up. I can't even make a prediction. I'm saying it'll go up at least to 40K, but we'll see. I don't know. That's some epic profits, even if you got in right now. Not telling you to get in right now, and this is, of course, not financial advice. All right, I hope you enjoyed the video. We're going to take a quick second to look at some graphs here. Okay, so if we take a quick look here from the 20K highs, about 20K or so, we actually dropped 83% to hit this low of around 3,200. And so that's what I expect. Not right now, of course. I mean, it could happen, but not right now. What I expect is us to just run up like crazy, all the way up here into these crazy levels, and then we will see an 80%, or I'm going to say at least a 75% drop. Once this bull market gives up and we start seeing the price begin to drop, I truly think it's going to drop at least 75% in value. Let's see if this prediction holds true. And yeah, I truly hope you guys enjoyed the episode, and I'll see you guys soon.